Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Thelma and Louise Foodies, and we're back with another mukbang. Well, actually, just me. Um, Before we get started, I have crawfish. I also have a story time for you guys today, but let me go ahead and take this shot. So for you guys, I have crawfish once again. So let me go ahead and get started. It's 3 o'clock. I have not eaten anything all day, so let me get started. So good, as always. So I do have a story time for you guys today. So if I cough or my voice sounds funny, this is the story time. So like 2 weeks ago, I started feeling like a sharp pain like in my chest. It was kind of like hard for me to breathe. It started on like Tuesday night, and then so like if I lay weird like in the bed, just say if I lay to the side or lay to the other side, like I would feel like a lot of pain and like shortness of breath. Like I couldn't take like deep breaths at all, just shallow breaths. So the next morning, so the next morning, I start the workday, and it's still not getting any better. Like it's still bad. I need to rearrange some of this stuff. Hold up, give me one moment. So I end up going to calling my supervisor. And I told my supervisor, I was like, look, listen, um, I need to go to urgent care. I'm not feeling good, da 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 da. So I drove myself to urgent care, and um, I told them, I was having trouble breathing. So this urgent care so it had one side was an urgent care, and one side was like an emergency room. So they told me because based on me not being able to breathe, I should go to the emergency room side. So I did. From there, they put me in a room. They did an x-ray. They hooked up, I'm trying to think of the name. I can't remember the name of the machine, but they hooked it up to my chest to see pretty much like what my heartbeat was doing. So they said they didn't like what they saw. My heart rate was like 125 resting heart rate. So like right away, they put 2 IVs in my arm, like right away. So they did that. Well, they put one in my hand, which was very painful, but then they put one in my left arm. And then from there, so they gave me, everything went by so fast. They gave me some steroids. They gave me nitroglycerin. They put it under my tongue, like 3 of them. They gave me aspirin, and then they waited for a while. And it was like so many doctors there and nurses. And keep in mind, this is not a hospital, this is an urgent care, but it seemed like all of them was like very concerned. Then they hooked up a, what is it called? Defibrillator. The machine, like if your heart is they're afraid like your heart's gonna stop. So, ooh, that sounded real country when I said that. But But yeah, so they hooked that up for me, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what is this for? And then she was like, just in case, and I was just like, just in case what? Because she was like, my heart was racing so fast, and they said my heart wasn't getting any oxygen, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So they were like, we may need to ship you off, not ship me off like a present, send you to the nearest hospital. So they called paramedics. The paramedics came. Well, first I waited. Then the lady was like, did you drive here? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, do you want to leave your car here? And I was like, well, can I just drive to the hospital? She was like, no, they have to come and pick you up and take you. And I was like, oh my Lord. It's the first time I ever had to ride in the back of paramedics. So is that what it's called, paramedic? I don't know. My brain is just not working today. But isn't a paramedic the person who is in the back? I don't know. I'm hungry. So yeah. So they come in, they take me there or whatever. So they put me in the back. No. See, I'm saying paramedic. Paramedic is the person who works. The paramedic, my brain is all off today. The ambulance. I don't know why I'm saying paramedic, but yeah, so they come and they take me. They take me away. And then so I'm riding in the back and I'm just like, well, I forgot they gave me morphine too, so I'm like kind of out of it. So they drive me speeding, by the way. I'm just like in the back, like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Like all over the place. So then I go to the emergency room. And like all the nurses start surrounding me and everything. I'm like, this is too much. So then they put me in a room there. Then, of course, they want you to put on that gown that doesn't have a back to it. But I couldn't get mine on because I had so many IVs in my arm. So the nurse had to help me, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so elderly. Like, I was like, I just turned 32 and now I'm in the hospital. So I was there in that room in the ICU, and then they hooked up antibiotics to me, and they hooked me up to the machine to check my heart rate, everything else, blood pressure. And then they came in and did another scan. Then this is the thing that this is how I know American healthcare is so messed up. Why, when you're going through something, you're like terrified, you're like scared, and you like half out of it, you're on meds or whatever. Why do they come in and then ask for your insurance and everything like that? And then some lady comes in and was like, are you able to pay your copay, everything? I'm like, lady, even though I did, but it's just like, I'm like in this room, these people have all these machines hooked up to me. I don't know what's going on. You come in here asking for the copay and my insurance. Anywho. But yeah, so I paid the copay, This jacked up healthcare system anyway. But yeah, so I was there for like 3 hours. Then I was like, okay, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to go home. They figured out what's going on. Then they were like, oh, we're about to get a room ready for you in the actual like hospital. And I'm like, oh my God, that means I have to stay here. So they end up putting me in a room. I end up having to stay. they had like this portable machine hooked up to me where I guess it was like to check my heart rate and everything. I couldn't really see it like the one I could see like in ICU because it was like portable, so I can like walk around with it like in my hand. So I'm in the room and everything. So then they take me to, I want to say a CAT scan, but he said he was putting iodine in my blood or something. And when I tell you that stuff burned so badly when it entered my bloodstream, and he was like, oh, it's going to feel like you're about to pee on yourself. And when I tell you it sent so much heat through my body, like through my veins, I was like, oh no. Then they're like, okay, you're gonna go through the machine and everything else. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh, and then I forgot to tell you, they gave me a shot in my stomach of blood thinners. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. I don't understand how people can stay in the hospital. Like, I really feel bad for people who have to be in the hospital for like more than a week or something. Because you don't get any rest. Like, the time I was there, I didn't get any rest because they kept coming into the room every 2 hours. They take me to go somewhere, go run some tests, give me more medication, give me a shot, check my IV, take more blood. I'm just like, I'm tired of getting poked. Like it was terrible. Like, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. So basically, what it was is, so they tested me twice for Rona, and it came back negative. So, and it told me, basically, I had inflammation around my heart. And it was basically like suffocating my heart and also causing me not to be able to breathe properly. So yeah, basically, so I didn't have Rona when I went, but I had Rona probably like the week prior. And basically, it was like the opposite of me. You know, like if you have it, then you have all the symptoms and all this stuff. So I was like asymptomatic when I had it. And once it went out of my system and it was no longer detectable, it left like lingering, like basically side effects. So that's what happened with the inflammation around my heart. I know it sounds weird. Trust me, I did some research on my phone to try to see exactly, because I'm like, this thing can do so many things. Like, I have seen so many people, like, people have to learn how to walk again, people that smell like rancid smells, everything. I'm like, this thing really affects people very differently. And the fact that it affected me after the fact, and I'm still having like side effects. Like, sometimes I just cough a lot, like all the time. And sometimes I still have moments where it's like, I feel like I can't catch my breath. But while I had it, I didn't have any symptoms, which is so weird. So now I'm masked back up everywhere I go. Because the last thing I want is to be back in that hospital bed. The eggs are so good. But yeah, that's my story time. I ended up having to get another checkup this week, so I did go and get a checkup again. Make sure my lungs are like pretty much almost back to normal and stuff like that. So yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, in the next video, both of us will be back together filming. So look out for that. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to the old subscribers from day one. Crawfish is so messy. I'm about to end this video, so I'm getting stuff all in my mouth. So yeah, I'm about to go ahead and end this video. I want to say thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace.